Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between I Love Candies, also known as Happy, going up against WFZ. This is going to be an Undead versus Undead mirror match. Well, Happy over here on the top left-hand side of the map. This is Ancient Isle. Meanwhile, WFZ spawning over here on the bottom right. Undead versus Undead, I already mentioned that. We'll see how these particular build orders will be changed. Graveyard and a Crypt first, so it is going to be Crypt Fiends coming in from Happy. Meanwhile, it was a Ultra of Darkness and Ziggurat coming in from WFZ. Alright, Flynn, hope you catch me on YouTube as well. Good night, everyone. Well, good night to everyone that is currently on the Twitch. Hopefully you guys will still stick around just a bit. Also, for those of you guys who did not know, if you have Amazon Prime, I'll just mention this out there since I haven't mentioned it, well, this month. If you have Amazon Prime, you do have a free Amazon or Twitch Prime subscription to use. If you go ahead and subscribe to me on Twitch, that's actually a direct way that you will be supporting me. Essentially, everyone who has Amazon Prime has $2.50 that they can give me or any other Twitch streamer a little bit of support, trying to keep everything together. I will still be around. Just woke up in Shanghai. Hi, Oblivion Runner. So yeah, that's pretty much how Twitch Prime works for everyone out there. If you guys don't have Twitch Prime but want to support me through either PayPal donations or bits, that is also definitely helpful as well. It cost me, I think all of my expenses, being able to keep track, like my phone and my internet, comes about to be like $200 a month. So that's what I'm trying to pretty much make as a wash here. So for those of you guys wondering, that's how you guys will be supporting me. My uploading of 6 gigabytes a day, I actually hit the threshold limits quite a number of times on the lower tiers. So I had to up my internet, otherwise I couldn't do anything on my internet either. So yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. It is going to be a Death Knight going up against a Death Knight. No big surprises. Happy did have a delayed Death Knight here, but you're going to see that it doesn't really matter. By the time this Death Knight makes its way over, his opponent's Death Knight will also be out on the field. Maybe a little bit less of skeletal minions, but that is pretty much going to be the only major difference. Skeletal minions going to go ahead and rush on inside here. And what's interesting though is that if you knew that your opponent had a graveyard already out, what's the Death Knight doing fighting out here? If you knew your opponent already had a graveyard out, you could use the Rod of Necromancy on the skeletal minions on the inside of the base. Skeletons actually being some sort of resource is one of the unique sides of the Undead, keeping track of what is happening over here. Now, I do believe, is there 6 Acolytes currently out? No, only 5. One Acolyte trying to wander his way back over there, as one skeletal minion is going to get taken out. There you go, 5 Acolytes back on the gold mine, as the Death Knight may try to charge on in again, but that is not going to work. It's population supply, 20 versus 20. As we're looking at WFZ getting a little bit of reinforcements with an additional Crypt Fiend here, is it going to really work out or help? Death Knight wants to stay within Death Coil range, but this Death Knight is a little bit closer as well. Damage going to get added up, as those skeletal minions should end up getting mowed down. If the Death Knight tries to heal one of his Crypt Fiends, it does mean that he is going to be on cooldown for the remainder of the attacks here. So you could perhaps have a steal from this Death Knight and Crypt Fiend as well, adding in a little bit more damage. Death Coil tries to get off, not in time there, as this Death Coil heals up that Crypt Fiend again. Death Knight backing off once more, but WFZ is not really stopping any sort of gameplay that Happy is trying to execute. As you're looking at this, the Death Knight is continuing this battle here, Ogre Warrior being left alone, and all Happy is saying with every swing of his Rune Blade is, get out of here, you are not wanted. Crypt Fiends and Death Knight now looking to pull back once again. Death Knight now heading back off to the north. Where is all of this going to go down? What is happening here as the Death Knight heads off to the north and now going after the Ogre Warrior? There goes the Ogre Warrior. Death Knight now sitting at level 2, does get another Death Coil off, as Happy says, you know what, I can deal with this level of harassment. I know that your Death Knight is relatively low on hit points. If you come back, I'm just gonna shoo you away like an annoying fly and get more experience as well. What is left for WFZ to do? WFZ gonna go ahead and try and engage at this creep camp. Go after the Forest Troll Warlord and perhaps hoping to pick up a very valuable consumable item. Wand of the Wind or Healing Wards, I believe, are the items that he is looking for, as that will open things up. Wand of the Wind has been dropped as the Death Knight now heads back away. Death Knight should be able to cyclone up his opponent's Death Knight during the critical time when a Death Coil would be useful. Killer Squid 3, thank you for the follow, as the Death Knight now heads back around. Death Knight picks up an additional Rod of Necromancy. Black Citadel already being upgraded. We do not see a Lich yet, surprisingly enough, as we are only sitting at 232 gold. Both armies are relatively small, and we do need to have early Obsidian statues, as the Death Knight has suffered far too much damage. Now, using Blight as a little bit of additional heal, you're going to see that Death Knight regenerating hit points, using more Rod of Necromancy, as the Skeletal Minions are now making their way over. Purposely going after the Null Warden and Null Assassin, as the Death Coil needs to go down on that Crypt Fiend, very low on hit points. Is going to be able to get away. You do not want to lose units to creeps, as the Death Knight now down to 160 hit points. Definitely playing on a razor's edge, but that is just up against the creeps. Death Knight, Crypt Fiends, all extremely low on hit points, and the Skeletal Minions taking the majority of that damage. Wow. WFZ really getting a bit lucky here, picking up a Ring of Regeneration, just what the doctor ordered on a low hit point Death Knight, as the Death Knight may go after this 5-3-3 creep camp here. Meanwhile, Death Knight at the other end of the map, already at level 3. Not going to get to level 4, but going to finish off this Null Overseer. Back across here, is this Death Knight going to get to level 3? I'm not 100% sure. Should be very close. There it goes. Yeah, will get to level 3 after this Ogre Warrior gets taken down. Level 2 Death Coil helping that Crypt Fiend get back up to full health, but also needs a good amount of mana as well. Lich, has it been started? Yes, it has. We should be looking at, well, Orb of Corruption getting ready, and we saw in a previous game how effective that Orb of Corruption is. -5 armor increases all damage done to that one particular unit, making Focus Fire that much better. Perhaps that's an item that could be useful for other races as well. Orb of Fire just simply doesn't have enough punch, really. That the splash damage effect isn't large enough to really be helpful, and that's perhaps one of the reasons why that is the least seen orb in all of the game. Meanwhile, Death Knight now wandering around back down across over here. You can see Red Drake still up in the air there. I do not believe we saw Web. Wand of Illusion being left behind. No getting picked up by that Death Knight. Lich of the opponent of Happy sitting at level 2 has a Claws of Attack +6, has a Pure Up of Vitality. Thank you for the subscription, Llama Kid. I believe that is just a subscription on YouTube, but that, well, nonetheless, thank you. Maybe one day I'll get to 100,000 subscriptions. If I do, I will get my silver subscribe button. I'm still I'm barely halfway there. As you see the Death Knight now trying to finish off this Red Drake. Death Knight trying to finish off the unit. It looks as though Red did end up getting it, as you're going to look at the Lich trying to finish off the units. He does finish it off. Going to get the Scroll of Town Portal to head back, as we are looking at a Dark Ranger in the center. Flag, kinda. Well, glad that you were able to join in on the stream. Keep it up. You are doing an awesome and entertaining job. Well, hopefully I will be able to keep it up. Views have been down, so has revenue, and the amount of free time I have has been pretty much going away as well. Side note, I guess I can mention this right now. Actually, I'll mention it at the end of the cast. Twitch stream, remind me. Death Knight now down to 235 hit points, trying to head to the back here. Silence onto this Death Knight here, as the units are in a bit of a retreat. Dark Ranger and Death Knight in a very tough spot right now, as there are no defined lines. Destroyer up in the air. Death Knight gonna save that Dark Ranger, as the Crypt Fiend now gonna go ahead and back off. That -5 armor onto the Dark Ranger, getting down to 0 armor. Dark Ranger in serious trouble. Death Coil, Frost Nova, but it took both abilities there, as you now see another Crypt Fiend getting taken down. who is going to be the bigger thank you for the subscription, as the Destroyer down to 93 hit points finally gets taken out. Forest Troll Berserker, low hit point units causing a lot of damage, but who are they attacking? You don't really know, as the Lich now finally gets, well, Death Coil in time. Wow, trying to finish off that unit right there. Tome of Knowledge being left behind. Frost Nova getting picked off again, as all of WFZ's units, the blue Crypt Fiends, getting slowly picked off one at a time here. It looks as though, yes, a Destroyer will get taken out as well. Lich sitting at level 3. Who is going to come across here? Lich down to 227 hit points. It is going to get Cyclone backed up, as the Dark Ranger of Happy is still in play. All right, there is a Dark Ritual quickly being, Dark Ritual being used in order to get a little bit more mana back up. The blue units now in a bit of a mad run. Is it going to be able to get away? Death Coil Lich down to 13 hit points, unable to slither away in time. Who actually came out ahead? I did not notice it, and I'll get there. You're at 63k last time I checked. Yeah, I've been at 63k ever since I was still casting StarCraft 2, so it has still been quite some time. Lich in position right there. Orb of, well, Death Knight with Unholy Aura, getting a little bit of regeneration on that Obsidian statue as well. Great job on all of your videos. Thank you, thank you, Death Knight. Now heading back down once more. Obsidian statue extremely low on hit points. That guy should turn into a Destroyer most likely, and then get a heal from the Death Knight. It doesn't look like that will be happening. I don't see any acolytes making their way across, as we are going into a Temple of the Damned for perhaps some Banshees. Banshees are incredibly powerful in this matchup. We saw how useful they are in order to get that anti-magic shell, absorbing a lot of damage. Obsidian statue still slowly regenerating hit points. Finally, the Death Knight gets the level 4 with that level 2 Unholy Aura. Forest Troll Berserker will get finished off. Dark Ranger will sit at level 1. Lich will sit at level 3, as the Obsidian statues should be staying relatively close to that Death Knight. Back across here, Crypt Fiends and Lich gonna go ahead and finish off the remainder of this creep camp. Death Knight sitting at level 4, well, picking up some additional items here as well. Now, I don't know who actually has the lead. 46 supply compared to 45. It looks like things are fairly even. 4-3-2 compared to, I believe, a 4-3-1 right now. Dark Ranger soon to be at level 2, so hero levels are exactly the same. Dark Ranger getting to level 2. We should be looking at some black arrows as well, and how many creep camps are in fact left. We are sitting at 12 minutes, 45 seconds. Throughout this battle, the armies are just going to grow and grow, but we should not get into low upkeep at all. Both sides should start investing into some items first, and it may come down to who has better items to try and negate their opponent. Destroyer off to the north here, gonna go ahead and engage. Crypt Fiend very low on hit points, is gonna be able to back off in time. No, it is not. Devour Magic continuing to engage again, as we see damage being dealt to just some skeletal minions. Not really worth it. Dark Death Coil now in time, but this Crypt Fiend not getting burrowed, unable to be saved, and it is a bad day to be a spider. All of them are just getting stepped on. Crypt Fiend gonna get taken down again off to the north. Red and blue Crypt Fiends dropping like flies, as the Abomination trying to head back. Abomination does get a Death Coil in the back to get saved a little while longer, but it's not going to last very long, as the Destroyers are starting to focus them down as well. 40 supply compared to 35. Who is going to come out ahead and in time? Now 40 compared to 41, as the Dark Ranger and the Destroyers are battling out again. Dark Ranger trying to get away, down to 100 hit points. Is it going to be able to make it? Yes, Death Coil saves it, as the Dark Ranger continuing that battle. Destroyers up in the air, trying to go after the Obsidian statue, since it does have heavy armor, the easier target now, and without any additional healing, where are these units possibly going to go? We are all tied up on supply once again. 2 Destroyers compared to a 1 Destroyer and 1 Obsidian statue. That is the main difference between these two armies, and, well, an additional Crypt Fiend. The main creep camps are all but gone. I have a question. I don't know if you answered it. Do you think that the patch 1.29 will be a clue on a reboot of WarCraft 3? I think they are making a remastered edition of WarCraft 3. They're still trying to balance out WarCraft 3, which is a good sign for a remastered. I did write to, I think it's Pete Stillwell over at Blizzard. He is in charge of what classic games and the remastered games. I just introduced myself, said hi. He did say hi back. So if there is anything else that Blizzard tries to do with Warcraft 3 in the future, perhaps host another invitational or do something at BlizzCon, I hope to be invited. I have been invited in years past for Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm. I was not invited, and even Legacy of the Void, but I haven't been invited back since, and I don't know if I just completely fell off their radar. That's what I wanted to mention, but I guess it's a good time to mention it in the middle of a cast when both sides are just sitting in here. Thank you, Fat Pumpkin, for the resubscription. 2 months worth, always helpful. As we're looking at the Death Knight now, heading back off to the north here. Anti-Magic Shell is out. Death Knight taking a little bit of damage, does need to back off as the units are now making their way back out. All right, Banshees are going to be incredibly important. Perhaps we will get some curses in there as well to cause a little bit of missing. But then again, if that does happen, the destroyers just devour magic that extremely quickly. Hi, Orb Knight. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in. As well, everyone be nice to Orb Knight. Destroyer now, well, he's the moderator. As the Destroyer now on the move. 2-0 upgrades now making out. Thank you for an answer. I hope that you'll be invited to the next event. Yep, you and me both. All right. Destroyer going after perhaps an easy ghoul. Quickly gets taken down and says, you know what, that's more of a just because I can, I'm going to use a Frost Nova and all of that to go after those units. Death Knight taking a lot of damage, now needs to run away. Destroyers might be able to do a little bit of chasing. Wand of Illusion, that is a completely useless item on that Death Knight right now as the Lich tries to get away. Lich, Frost Nova in front. Lich gonna get, oh no, sandwiched by some trees. Is it gonna be able to back out? Death Coil, Lich still alive just for a little while longer. Anti-Magic Shell will protect from some of that damage. As you can take a look, the Lich is just eating up Death Coils like it's going out of style. Gary810, thank you. I am still subbed. Thank you, YKG. I believe you're the all-time cheerleader so far, as the Destroyers are still heading back around. Oh, all right. No, both of these sides not yet ready to commit to a fight. 56 supply compared to 54. Both sides just trying to get into the proper position and make sure that everything is going well. Thank you, Master Puppet, for the subscription as we're looking and building up to an upcoming fight. There is a shade in the back keeping track of all of these units here. There are 2 Destroyers. There are many more Obsidian statues as well. Thank you, Orb Knight, for the cheer as we're looking at, well, what could be the big fight. Now, whoever is fighting and standing on Blight definitely has the advantage. And if you are at your home base, wow. Wait, YKG, thank you for the cheer. You are definitely the all-time cheerleader right now. That gonna, well, make a big dent in my bills. As we're looking at the Acolytes now summoning and haunting a gold mine over here at the 9 o'clock position. Orb Knight, I don't know if that's a little jealous symbol right there. All right, Destroyers now here, ready to go. What's going to be happening next? Lich, Crypt Fiend, all of these here is ready to engage. This upcoming fight should be big, and it looks as though, well, Happy wants to engage here just because he has this expansion. Now, he doesn't have to force a fight here. He knows that his opponent doesn't have one. Banned for overcheering. All right, no, or I might have to restrict your access if you're going to be banning for overcheering. Gary8810, thank you for the subscription again. 2 months resub. Definitely does help. Definitely does help as we're looking at the Crypt Fiends ready to move on out. All right. Who is going to come out on top? Happy with the expansion, but this home field advantage doesn't yet feel like home as there are no Spirit Towers or Nerubian Towers as of yet. Units are going to be coming in from the south. 70 supply compared to 69. Are there going to be enough items, though? Perhaps Scrolls of Healing. The additional gold could buy additional Scrolls of Healing. That could be the big difference here as we see the Anti-Magic Shell starting to come to an end. Level 4 on the Death Knight. Where are we going? All of this getting ready right now. Death Knight gonna go ahead and get ready to engage. And well, what's this? WFZ is the one standing on the Blight. All right, home field advantage. You also see a bunch of Wand of Illusion, so many abominations. And if we see a quick GG, we know what is happening here. Death Coil, Crypt Fiends trying to engage. Other units in the backfield, the destroyers are not devouring magic. I don't even see any red destroyers as the Death Knight now trying to head back here. Death Knight in that front position does have a potion of lesser invulnerability, needs to use it quickly, otherwise he will get taken down. The sheer army size has to be extremely scary though, as Happy does not know where all of these units came in from. Crypt Fiends, all right, Abomination down to 102 hit points. Get the Death Coil still alive. This one not so lucky as the units are now backing off. Abomination in that front line absorbing damage, but a quick Devour Magic. Potion of Invulnerability at 22 hit points. Both sides still fighting. Happy trying to stick around in this fight just long enough. Needs the Death Coil off onto that Lich. Gets it in time as all the heroes are still alive. 60 to 58. Razor's Edge fight going on here. As you can see, the Crypt Fiends are still battling it up. So once again, Obsidian Statues continuing to fight back once more. Skeletal Minions in the back. Are we going to have some Devour Magic just removing all of these summoned units? I'm not sure yet. And, well, WFZ takes the win. Wow. Wow. Very, very close battle up until the very end. Gary8810, a WarCraft 3 plushie. I believe my daughter already has one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it out there on YouTube. If you guys didn't do so, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, definitely subscribe, and hope to see you guys on Battle.net.